being able to use absolute values to describe subsets of the number line is a really important skill. So we want to get a little bit of practice here. So what do we have? First of all, so we're thinking about the subset x such that the distance between x and minus 1 is less than or equal to 7. Okay, what's the distance between x and minus 1? Well, by definition, the distance between x and minus 1 is x minus minus 1, the absolute value of that. Right, we've seen that that is the distance between these 2 points in the number line. And it doesn't matter if x is positive, negative, to the left or to the right of minus 1, this is always true. Right? This is one of the benefits of the absolute value. So we want it to be less than or equal to 7. Nice and simple. Less than or equal to the number 7. So we could, of course, rewrite this if we wanted. We don't really need to, but if you want to make it a little bit neater, so this is something that can cause some problems as well, the minus minus becomes a plus. You could write it like this, which is perfectly reasonable as well. B. So this one's a bit more interesting, such that the distance between x and 2 is greater than 3. Okay, so the distance between x and 2 is greater than 3. So the distance between x and 2, of course, is the absolute value of x minus 2. Greater than 3, well, nice and simple, it means it's strictly greater than 3. So just for a moment, let me just explain what this looks like on the number line. This one's a little bit more interesting, right? Previously talking about proximity, less than 7 says you're within distance 7 of minus 1, for example. But this says you're greater than distance 3. So if I have the position 2 here, being distance greater than 3 away from it means you have to be further away than 5 on this side and minus 1 on this side. So this would correspond to, if I'm going to write it in kind of my notation I've been using, this would correspond to everything away from this. So you basically have to be one of these two sides. So it's kind of backwards to what we saw before, right, where you're talking about an open interval or potentially open or closed interval, depending if it's less than or equal to, which contains your kind of central point, but here you're on the outside. Okay, and that's because it's greater than 3, because you've got to be distance greater than 3 away. So this length between your point and 2 has to be bigger than 3, so you've got to be either out here or out here. Pretty nice.